If you're an FPS player and a PS5 player who despises being blindsided by your foes that somehow always get the jump on you from that backside angle corner even though they're 30 centimeters away just because you didn't hear their heavy footsteps, well, this video's for you. What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated. That's right. I know everybody, all of you have been wondering where I am. Probably not. Don't worry, I'm still alive and kicking. I just had a few life changes that made it ultimately more difficult for consistent content creation. Triple C's, what's happening? But I've accepted the challenge and here I am. Now, we've looked at a handful of headsets on this channel so we can discover for ourselves what the best headset is with the PS5 in order to have the highest clarity, quality, and most importantly, ability to detect those pesky opponents that aren't ninjas but sound like them. Now, as we all know, and as I like to remind you guys in every PlayStation 5 headset review video, the reason why we do these headset reviews is because when the PlayStation 5 first came out, Sony announced that it has a built-in 3D audio engine known as Sony's proprietary Tempest 3D audio engine. It's supposed to revolutionize the way we hear sounds. It's supposed to help us detect enemies from all around us, above or below us, and so we have been reviewing headsets that have claimed to be 3D audio optimized. This time we're looking at the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset right here. This is the wired version. I wasn't able to get the wireless version when I went to get this because they were sold out. They have come in stock since, and I have been able to procure one since, so watch out for a review on that one. Now, this isn't the newest headset by any means. It hasn't even been touted as having 3D audio. In fact, this headset came out almost 5 years ago, but it has stood the test of time ever since. In fact, most high quality audio products usually last a long time until audio technology truly revolutionizes how it outputs the technology. There's no real reason to worry about buying the latest and greatest set of cans. And if this headset has lasted 5 years, people still use it to this day and buy it, it is one of the higher rated headsets, it's worth looking into. Even though PS5 has that new 3D audio tech, at least now we get to see how non-3D audio headsets interact with PS5's 3D Audio Tempest engine. Now, before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. If you happen to enjoy the video at any point, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos. It helps the channel out a lot. And make sure to hit the noti bell to join Noti Gang and so you don't miss out on future videos. Before we start digging deep into the review, let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, so first and foremost, we've got the red box right here, completely on brand, red slide out box. A couple papers, we've got the headset itself with its various accessories. Surprised by how organized this looks, but it is packaging, so I guess I should have expected that. We've got these super squishy ear cups right here, an extra set of ear cups. Then we have the headset itself in all its various details and features. Again, it is a wired headset. The 3.5mm audio jack does not disconnect from the headset itself. Then we have the mic, which clearly is not attached to the headset just yet. We then have this mesh carrying pouch, which I was completely surprised by. Don't really see that as often anymore. Yet with another surprise inside the carrying pouch, it is a audio controller with a built-in USB audio DAC to further enhance the audio quality of this headset. It also has a clip so you can clip it on wherever you want. Okay, so we're gonna go over things like audio quality and mic quality, but first let's start with the comfort. Now, what I find very interesting about this headset is every time I've seen someone wear it, it always looked very lightweight, but it also looked very cheap quality. I always thought it looked like a standard headset. I don't know why, it just didn't look that great. However, having it in hand, I realized how premium quality these materials are and actually how comfortable it is. It didn't seem very comfortable when I saw other people wear it. I don't know what it is about seeing someone else wear it through a screen or whatever it may be. It just doesn't look that great. It looks great in person, however. But the point of all that is to say that it's actually great build quality, and that really lends itself to the comfort of this headset. Typically, when you see great build quality, usually you see denser materials, and you would think that would make the headset a lot heavier. This headset is not very heavy. It's actually relatively lightweight on your head. Now, you'll notice these ear cups right here are leather. So is the headband right here, and both of these are padded with memory foam, which is actually surprising for me because I thought this was going to be regular padded leather, regular foam that is not very premium, but memory foam is a premium touch, and you can really feel it when you wear it. It really sculpts to the shape of your head, around your ear, and creates a very good seal around your ears. However, there's always that downside with memory foam though. When it works well, it works really well. It works a little too well, and then it gets just too hot, and it gets your ears really heaty over long gaming sessions. There's no way your ears aren't coming out moist after a long gaming session with these memory foam ear cups. Fortunately though, this headset comes with an extra set of fabric ear cups. These are like really soft. So we've got these very lightweight velour fabric ear cups. They're also padded. I strongly recommend using these over the leather ear cups. I just wanted to keep the leather ear cups in because this is how the headset comes in the packaging. Okay, moving on to the fit. The first thing we're going to talk about is the clamping force here. The clamping force is actually really well balanced. It's not too tight, it's not too strong. I think it's actually better than my favorite headset that I currently use, which is the Arctis 7P. The Arctis 7P is comfortable. It has a really loose clamping force though, so when I wiggle my head like this, it still moves around quite a bit. This one, the clamping force is so perfect. It doesn't feel too strong. It doesn't feel too light. It doesn't feel overbearing at all. One headset I would consider overbearing is the Stealth 700 Gen 2 from Turtle Beach. This thing is not like that at all. The Stealth 700s are like a skull crusher compared to these. Another benefit of the clamping force of this headset is that the headband right here actually doesn't rest on your head. It doesn't rest on your head the way it would like on a SteelSeries 7P, where the clamping force is so light that you do feel the weight of the headset. In this case, because the clamping force is so well balanced, you don't actually feel the weight of the headset on your head, which kind of gives it the illusion of being even lighter than it actually is, which it is relatively light as it is. Overall, the fit on this thing is great with the perfect amount of clamping force and the adjustable aluminum notches right here, as well as the shape of the headband right here. Everything plays into that perfect fit, and I think this is probably the best fitting headset I've owned to this day. Okay, talking about the audio quality now. Look, this is gonna get real messy for all of us. I'm not gonna mince words here, but before we get into all that mess, let's talk about a few basic tech specs that might give you a better idea of the audio quality of this headset. The first tech spec is the 53mm drivers, which is quite a bit larger than the typical 40mm drivers that you get from headphones like the Arctis 7P, which is my current headset right now. This allows for a larger soundstage and to allow more components to be built into the drivers, but more importantly, it's mostly used for better bass. This headset has a 15 to 25 kilohertz frequency response range, which is actually 5 kilohertz higher than most headsets I've reviewed as well, such as the Arctis 7P once again. However, the bass frequency here at 15 kilohertz is much higher than the 5 kilohertz you get from the Arctis 7P. This headset is also Discord certified, which I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm pretty sure what it means is if you're gonna use it on PC, it has very well compatibility with Discord and using other apps. Okay, getting into the mess. The reality about the audio quality about this headset, it is a great sounding headset. The highs are clear, the lows are clear, the mids are crystal clear. Even the bass sounds great. But the problem is it only performs that well on PC. Now this is a wired headset that has a USB connection at the end of it and an audio controller in between with a built-in DAC for a high fidelity audio experience. Unfortunately, you can only reap the rewards of this controller and the built-in DAC on PC. I plugged this headset into the PS5 via USB and failed to use any features of this controller. Aside from the mute slider right here, there's literally none of this works on the PS5. And what makes this even more jarring is that there's no volume control at all. And the default headset volume, once you plug it in via USB into the PS5, is actually really low. It's almost probably 10 to 20% of the headset volume, maybe even less, honestly. And that's even with the in-system volume adjusted to the max. Which means the only way you can really use this headset effectively on the PS5 is by disconnecting the USB and the controller and plugging it in directly into the PS5 controller via the 3.5mm audio jack. Now, of course, I tried this, and of course, it worked. You can control the volume, you can put it as high as you want. However, the audio quality greatly suffers compared to PC performance. You obviously lose out on the high quality, hi-fi performance right here, as well as any of the controls that are on here, like the volume control, the mic control, which means you would have had voice chat control if this thing worked. There's a 7.1 surround sound button right here, which doesn't even matter on the PS5 since it doesn't have that. It really doesn't even sound that great on PC either, the 7.1 surround sound feature. Now, I've tested this headset on PS5 on 4 games with the USB connection as well as the 3.5mm audio jack connection connected into the controller. The 4 games being the same games that I've been testing pretty much every headset on. It is Warzone, which is a PS4 game that I play on PS5. Black Ops Cold War is a PS5 game. Spider-Man Miles Morales and Demon Souls, which are both PS5 exclusives. Just a quick disclaimer, when you see the b-roll of me playing these games, you usually see the PlayStation 5 right next to me. I've recently built a PC and I've done a bit of adjustment on my desk, so you are actually going to see the PC in these b-roll footages. That doesn't mean I'm playing on PC. that just means the PC is there. The PS5 is still right there next to it. You just don't see it in frame, alright? Just thought I mentioned that. I'm sure it would have confused a few people. So the first game I tested these on was Warzone. As always, I first tested it out with a USB connection, and that was absolutely useless. Everything was too quiet. You can tell that the sound is of a better quality when you connect it via USB. However, unfortunately, because the volume is so low, it's pretty much useless. You can't really tell where anything is because you have to really be really quiet. You can't chat with anybody. If you chat with somebody, you just won't hear anything. I connected it into the controller, and again, audio quality suffered. However, at least I could hear things, and most of the sounds were quite clear. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I felt like everything just got louder instead of being more clear. You would be able to tell where enemies were or where boxes were, but not to the same clarity that you would with other headsets. I personally think the headsets I've reviewed beforehand, like the Arctis 7P, the Turtle Beach 700 Stealth Gen V2, whatever the long name for that one is, and the other headsets I've tested before this do a much better job of that on the PS5, especially with Warzone. Now, I tested this headset out on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as well. Again, it was a similar experience. I don't really even want to go into the USB plugging in experience because that's pretty much the same all across the board. Every game is super quiet. It is a touch clearer than it is when you just plug in the audio jack, but because it's so quiet, you will never really be able to tell where anything is or how clear it really is, and there's just no way around it, and it just really sucks that that has to be the experience. And that is quite disappointing when it comes to a headset that is priced at this range and is pretty much available for all platforms. And I tested these on Demon Souls. I did my typical test where I go up on the tower and I pan the camera around to see how well the sound picks up around me and how clearly I can tell where the dragon is, where he's breathing fire in relation to where the camera is panning. In this instance, the headset did well. Again, although it is clear, it's definitely downgraded from the PC performance. I did test these out on PC as well, but obviously we're talking about the PS5 here. I wanted to test it out on PC just to see how well it would do, and there is definitely quite a bit of sound degradation when you use it on PS5 via just the 3.5mm audio jack as opposed to plugging it into the controller and plugging it in via USB. Now, I tested this out on Spider-Man Miles Morales. Again, USB pointless. Plugged it in via 3.5mm audio jack into the controller. The game sounded great, again at the expense of directional audio and a bit less clear sound. Everything sounded just a touch more muddy. We have quite a few more things to go over, but again, unfortunately, this headset is kind of looking like it's not going to be a viable option for the PlayStation 5. Okay, so going over the features of this headset, unfortunately, the most significant features are going to be the ones that are only beneficial to PC. That really is a shame, but let's go over them anyway. The first feature is obviously this controller right here with the built-in DAC. You get voice control, volume control, you get a mic mute slider, you even get a 7.1 surround sound button to switch between regular sound and 7.1 surround sound, which honestly is not the best thing ever, but if that's something you're into, that's something you're into. It also has this clip right here, which is super convenient. You don't want this thing dangling around. It probably feels very uncomfortable that way, so you can clip it onto anything you're wearing, and then you even have easier control reach. You can reach the controller easily because right there. The next feature this headset has is a 1 meter long braided cable. This is perfect for anyone trying to keep a distance from their monitor or from whatever they're playing on. However, unfortunately, it's still not as long as you would like for a living room. Of course, it's not like you're going to be using it via the USB anyway. If you do buy this headset to play on PS5, you're going to be connecting that 3.5mm audio jack into your PS5. That cable, though, is not nearly as long as the rest of the cable. 3.5, actually, it's still quite long. You know, you can, not really. This really is just controller distance. Anything further than that would probably get a little uncomfortable. The next feature we have is this detachable microphone right here. If you want to be one of those people, the few people on this planet that still have 3.5mm audio jacks on your phone, that's obviously a joke. Quite a few people that still have 3.5mm audio jacks, but the way companies have been pushing phones with no 3.5mm audio jack, Bluetooth headsets are becoming the standard more and more every day. But if you're still one of those people, you want to fight the power, you got that 3.5mm audio jack in your phone or wherever you listen to music from, you can take this thing off and plug it in and travel with it. I love this feature on any headset just because I like using products for multiple uses, so this gives this thing another use. Even if I wouldn't end up carrying it around with me, I know someone who would, and that would be perfect for them. Another cool feature of this headset isn't the headset itself, but the mesh carrying pouch that it comes with. It isn't a hard case or anything, so you don't get superior protection, but you do get some kind of protection from dust and scratches. And this is a good feature. It's a nice feature to have, because the more I review gaming headsets, the more I realize that a lot of companies are foregoing the protection or any sort of case for your headset, even if it's for a gaming headset, which you would think that people who travel with their gaming stuff or want to game on the go or anywhere else would need some sort of travel case or headset cover, anything to protect it. But for some reason, this is becoming less and less common by the year. So shout out to the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset for coming with one of these. Moving on to the mic test. Keep in mind, when I do the mic test, I record it directly onto the PlayStation 5, and then I upload the video onto YouTube, and then I download it onto my computer and extract the audio from that file. The reason why I do it this way is because I want it to sound the way it would sound coming out of a PS5, because consoles usually apply their own little algorithms or compression techniques to make the sound digitally enhanced so it sounds better through the console versus just directly listening to it if I plug it into something to record the mic directly. However, keep in mind, because this is such a multi-step process, the file goes through some sort of degradation when I upload it, and then once I download it again, there's a little bit of quality loss, so it's never going to be one-to-one, but it gives you an idea of what it's going to sound like through the console. Okay guys, so here's the mic test right now. I have the headset plugged into the controller, because realistically, this is the only way you're going to be using this headset with the PS5. You're not going to be plugging it into the PS5 via USB, because it's just going to be too quiet, as I mentioned before. So this is the mic running on 50% volume right now. In my opinion, it's actually very clear. This little boom mic situation, this little padding right here is relatively helpful in removing all the extra noise or popping or whatever you want to call it. From my experience, from what I can tell based on what I heard on this headset when I use the adjust mic level option, it seems like the noise cancellation isn't as good as when you're using this headset on PC. I've seen quite a few noise cancellation tests with this mic, and it seems to do relatively well. But I mean, I don't know, you guys tell me. Let me know what you guys think about the noise cancellation. I'll be able to give you my opinion maybe after this, but I'm just gonna type on this keyboard real quick, and you guys can let me know how well it's canceling the noise, or you just get a good idea. I'm talking and it's typing, and I'm typing at the same time, so it gives you two different voices, two different sounds to sort of understand how well this mic cancels noise via the 3.5mm audio jack on the controller. Now I'm just going to type. So there it is. Okay, now I've set the mic level to 100%, just to give you an idea of how loud this mic can really get on the PlayStation 5. Of course, I've reduced the sound in editing just so your ears don't pop off. I want to make sure you don't damage your ears in any way, but this gives you an idea of how loud it gets. It's probably a little distorted, but it still sounded relatively clear when I was listening to it. I've brought the mic volume back to 50% so I don't blow out your ears. You guys got an idea of how it sounds at 50%, how the noise cancellation is on PS5 via the 3.5mm audio jack, even though this headset is more geared towards using it via the USB with the audio controller with the built-in DAC attached to it. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, you can only really take advantage of that on the PC, and your audio is just going to be super low on PS5 if you use it, or if you connect it via USB. Okay, there was the mic test. You guys let me know what you thought in the comments below. I personally still think my favorite headset, the Arctis 7P, sounds better. The noise canceling on this is pretty good though, and it does the job pretty well. Now moving on to the pricing, this headset retails at $139.99 Canadian dollars, or 140 Canadian dollars, which seems like quite a high price for a wired gaming headset. However, when you see the premium upgrades you get with this headset, it kind of makes sense. Everything sort of falls into place and makes sense. We have the 53mm drivers, which are a huge upgrade from 40mm drivers as long as they're utilized properly, and we have the audio controller with the built-in DAC, which is a unique feature and quite a cool feature, a very useful feature as well as the detachable mic, the memory foam ear cups, the memory foam headrest, and the mesh pouch, as well as the extra ear cups, which For most headsets, you would usually have to pay extra to get something like this. You would have to buy this as a separate accessory. So once you factor all these in, the retail price point kind of makes sense. And moving on to the design, if I'm gonna be honest, I was always hesitant about this headset just based off of the design. Whenever I saw someone wear it, for whatever reason, it always looked low quality. It always looked like it was cheaply built, but I always saw it at a distance. I never really saw an up close look at it. And once I got them in hand, they're actually super premium. They feel super premium, and the look is not that bad either. In person, it is a completely different story. So if you're one of those people that was like me who saw other people wear this and it felt or looked like it was cheaply built, it's actually not cheaply built at all. Some of the design details are actually very unique also, which I didn't notice in those videos as well. Like this red stitching detail on the headrest is actually really nice. It helps the headset pop out and stand out a little bit more. Then we have this nice exposed aluminum frame that holds the ear cups in this bright red colorway. We also have this brushed aluminum feature on the ear cups with the HyperX logo in red. There are a few things I'm not a fan of though, and this can be subjective. Obviously design is always subjective, but I'm not a fan of these exposed wires right here. I can already see myself getting like tangling this with something when I'm trying to take these off, or just anything. If I'm picking them up off the table and there's stuff around it, something might get hooked onto it. I can see that happening any day of the week now. We've got a braided cord, which is an excellent design choice. Once again, it allows for cords just generally not being stiff is a good thing. So braided cables allow your cords to not be stiff and allows them to be flexible. It also prevents a lot of tangling, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, so moving on to my final pros and cons for this headset. Starting off with the pros, the first pro is the subtle premium hits on this headset. The memory foam ear cups, the aluminum frame right here, the brushed aluminum ear cups right here, the braided cable, as well as the addition of the pouch and the velour ear cups right here, very soft and lightweight. The addition of all those, having all these premium touches on this headset, it's a real pro for this headset because you wouldn't notice a lot of these from a distance, but as an owner of this headset, you would definitely appreciate all those features and additions. Second pro, we have a socially distanced cable right here, a 1 meter long braided cable to keep you at a comfortable distance from wherever you want to be. You want to keep a distance from the monitor. You want to route the cable in ways that most people wouldn't even dream of. You can do that with this 1 meter braided cable. The third pro is top-notch sound, because we do get premium sound quality and there are premium components in here to produce that sound quality. However, unfortunately, as we all know, the PS5 can't take full advantage of it, but as a headset in and of itself, it is a good quality and good performing headset, just not on the PS5. The next pro is this audio controller right here with the built-in DAC for that high fidelity audio experience. It's got all the features you would want on a headset with volume control, voice chat control, mute, and the 7.1 surround sound, which is just an additional benefit. Not everyone needs it, it's not mandatory, but it's there. Moving on to the cons, the biggest one being obviously the DAC and the audio controller incompatibility with the PS5. The fact that you can't use this audio controller with the PS5 was just one of the two biggest nails in the coffin for this headset to be used on the PS5. The second is the low volume, the low default volume. If that volume was higher, at the very least this headset would be somewhat functional on the PS5 with the DAC built in, with the built-in DAC for audio quality and clarity. The second con sort of plays into the first con of the controller not being compatible with the PS5, and it's just lost in the premium sauce because you can't take full advantage of the premium components in this headset, built into this headset, because you have to use this headset via the 3.5mm audio jack on the PS5 and not via the USB, which means you don't get the full advantages of the DAC built into the controller. You also don't get the benefits of the controller. I'm sure the audio components built into this headset aren't being fully utilized because they're not plugged in via USB into the PS5 for that very reason. And the final con is if you plan to use this headset with these leather ear cups, these memory foam leather ear cups right here, be prepared to become a toaster microwave oven. Unless you're one of those people that comes home from work and has a 1 hour long gaming session or something short like that, if you plan on having long gaming sessions, you are gonna get toasty. All in all, the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset is a viable gaming headset for the price point. It comes with a lot of premium additions as well as being well built. The sound quality is amazing, but only when you can get it to work, like on a PC. This headset, unfortunately, is not viable for the PS5 in any way. There are plenty more headsets that you can get if you want to use them on the PS5. Now, I did manage to get the HyperX Cloud 2 wireless gaming headset, and will that alleviate all these problems on the PS5? We'll find out. But for now, this wired headset right here with a lot of features, a lot of premium additions, and with really good build quality and great sound is practically useless on the PS5, and that is a shame. That's my review for the HyperX Cloud 2 wired gaming headset. Are any of you out there actually using this with the PS5? Let me know in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Picsoleated is getting hyper.